Welcome to the podcast. I was not the first Broadway you've ever met.
No.
No? Who was the first Broadway you ever met?
Liam.
Liam? Okay, I got a really important question. Who's the better Broadway? This podcast is brought to you by Taste Catering. Thank you so much for sponsoring this podcast. And if you guys haven't, go check out Taste Catering for your next catering needs.
I can't choose.
You can't choose? Well, I feel like I'm the better Broadway. He's only here because of me. Addi Smyers, welcome to the podcast. Actually, you're not the first Smyers on the podcast either.
No.
Who was the first?
My mother.
Oh, she was a good podcast. She had a lot of good stories.
Yes.
Do you think you're going to have better stories?
No.
No? Okay, we'll see. I'll be the judge at the end. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, so where were you born?
I was born right here in Paris, Texas.
Paris, Texas.
Yes.
That's awesome. What school do you go to?
I go to North Lamar.
So, going into school, what's your favorite subject?
Math.
Math. Why do you like math?
It's just easy. It's easy to check my answers and make sure I'm doing everything correctly.
For you, does it feel like math just comes, like, do you get it before you do the problem? Like, can you see it before you get it done?
Most of the time, yes.
Is it hard sometimes to then go back and then show your work?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the way it works for me. Like, I'll see a math problem in my head. My wife calls it cyber rendering because I'll render the problem in my head, but then I'm like, crap, how do I go back and show how I got there?
Yes.
That's how it works for you?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Okay, so how many siblings do you have?
I have 2.
Which one's your favorite?
For sure, my older brother, Devin.
Oh. Why is he your favorite?
Because he's just more calm. My little brother's crazy.
He's crazy?
Yes, very.
What's the craziest thing he's ever done?
I don't know. There's a lot of things. He'll attack me at random times. He'll just get mad at random things and come attack me.
Does he do that to you and your older brother?
Mostly not my older brother.
Because he's too big?
Yeah.
Oh. So is he wild, like, at school? Was he just always wild?
I don't really know at school, but he seems like he's a good kid, but he is very wild at home.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite thing about your older brother?
He's very athletic, very nice.
Is he protective?
Yes, very.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good for an older brother. I wish Liam was a little more protective. He's good, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I think he just he's boss. He's a little bossy. Okay. So if I got an interesting question for you. You like TV?
Yes.
Do you like movies?
Yes.
What's your favorite movie?
Probably Outer Banks.
Outer Banks. Who's your favorite actor, actress?
Probably John B.
If you could only spend one day with any famous person, and it could be anybody, who would you pick?
Morgan Wallen. He's my favorite singer.
Really?
Yes.
What's your favorite song from him?
Probably either 865 or Sand in My Boots.
Sand in Your Boots?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, other than Matt, what's your favorite sport? Did you play sports?
Yes.
What's your favorite sport?
Basketball.
Basketball. Why basketball?
It's just I like to get aggressive in sports, and I love being aggressive.
It's starting to sound like your little brother. How often do you play now in school?
I will play it next year.
Because, you're in 5th grade, right?
Yes.
And you're going into 6th grade.
Yes.
So that means you're going into middle school.
Yes.
Are you excited about that?
I'm excited and very nervous.
What are you most nervous about?
I don't know. I'm probably going to be very focused on my grades and stuff like that.
Are you nervous, like, about the kids? Because the most of the kids in the school now are going to be older than you.
Yes, that's one of the things. Just them being older,
Yeah. Do you feel like in school now in 5th grade, is there a lot of like peer pressure to be a certain way, or is it just kind of?
I feel like it's kind of starting being like that, but not bad.
It's still easy to be kind of whoever you want to be. Do you think it's going to be a little more like that when you get in 6th grade?
Yes.
What are you most excited about going into 6th grade?
Having different classes with different classmates and not being stuck with the same people.
That's crazy to think about, because I haven't even thought about that with Liam, that he's been, so you only have 2 classes now, right? Like, did you switch?
Well, we have 4 teachers, but we're all in the same class with the same students.
So when you switch, the same kids go with
Yes.
you? Okay. Is there any time that you're outside of that that group of kids?
We'll be mixed up with one other class during PE, and that's it.
That's it. Okay. But going into 6th grade, how many classes will you end up having?
I think I'll have 8.
Now, y'all recently went and toured
Yes.
the new building, right? And on that tour, did you get to see where your classes were going to be?
We don't know all of our classes yet, so we got to see some of the classes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking here. Going into 6th grade, I lost my train of thought. I don't do that very often. Going into 6th grade, you're going to have different teachers and different, are you worried about that at all?
I don't think so. I like having different teachers.
Because now that the teachers only teaches math, and then you
Yes.
get to learn from a math teacher.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. When you think about growing up and doing something, what do you think you'll do when you grow up?
I either want to be a dentist or a vet.
A vet?
Yes.
Okay, why dentist?
I've always liked messing with teeth, and I always get so excited when I lose a tooth, so.
That's interesting. When you go to the dentist, do you talk to a dentist about how they became a dentist?
Mm-mm.
No?
I've never thought of that.
You should do that. You should ask a whole bunch of questions next time you go to the dentist. My wife, she hates the dentist. She's scared of them. She's
That's how most people are.
I think it takes someone who loves it to do it. Do you think that's true?
Yes.
Okay, vet. You said a vet?
Yes.
Why a vet?
Because I'm just a big animal lover, and it'll make my day if I get to save them or help them out,
Now, I've heard about this. It's rumored around town that you're a big animal lover. How many animals do you have?
We have 3. Well, counting our fish, 4.
Fish?
Yes.
Okay, what are their names?
We have Chief, Maverick, and Tito, and I have no clue what our fish's name is.
Oh, okay. You didn't name your fish at all?
It's Sam's fish, so I don't know.
Who cares about Sam's fish? Yeah. Which pet is your favorite pet?
I don't know. Chief or Maverick.
Okay. Tell me a story about one of your pets, the craziest story.
Maverick, for a month or 2, he ran away, and he finally ran away, and we couldn't find him for 2 weeks.
2 whole weeks?
Yes, and then someone posted on him and said, somebody better come get their dog, and it was them pounding Maverick, and he had blood everywhere.
Oh.
And then we finally ended up finding him, and he was so skinny, but...
Was he close by, or was he really far away?
He was 30 minutes away. Someone picked him up on the side of the road and took him with a lot of other dogs, and they weren't feeding him.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we locked him in a cage every day, and he finally, figured out.
He was in a safe space?
Yes, and then he hasn't ran away since.
That's a really hard way to learn not to run away.
Yes.
Okay. And are there any other crazy stories about the dogs?
Mm-mm.
That's crazy. That's a really crazy. It reminds me. There's a movie Homeward Bound. I think it's Homeward Bound. It's an old movie, and that's basically. Well, I think they were on vacation and they got left behind, and then they traveled a long ways to get back home.
It was a dog and a cat, right?
I think it was 2 dogs and a cat or something like that. It's an old movie.
How about Chief? Their new dog.
Do you have a new dog?
Yes.
Who's your new dog? What's it?
Chief.
Chief. So tell me about Chief.
He's crazy, wild. My dad finally let us have an inside dog, but he loves to be outside. And
So he sneaks out all the time?
yes.
What is Chief? What kind of dog is he?
He is a mini Aussie.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
That's a very cool dog.
Yes, it's our second dog because we lost Buddy. He was one of our longest dogs that we've ever had, and we lost him to something was wrong with his kidney.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad. So the first dog my wife and I got when we were first together was a puggle, part pug, part beagle, and he had like a whole bunch of wrinkles on his face, so we called him Botox. He was probably my favorite pet that we've ever had.
Aww.
And best dog ever. Like, just kind of took to being a apartment type dog really quickly. We recently got a new dog, and her name is Birdie. She's crazy. Does your dog get the zoomies?
Yes. Chief will give him a shower, and he goes crazy on the rug and just goes circles and circles.
Circles and circles. And
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Birdie is the king or queen of zoomies. It's just, now to the point it's like, okay, I'm fixing to take you outside. You're getting a little too wild for me. She also runs away a lot. She's a lot more fun and than my other dog. Okay, so you love pets.
Yes.
If there is any pet you could have other than the ones you have, what kind of pet would you get?
A spider monkey.
A spider monkey.
Yes.
Interesting. What does a spider monkey look like?
It's just a really small monkey.
A really small monkey?
Yes.
Is it like a teacup small or like?
It's medium size. For my birthday, we had like a zoo theme.
Okay.
And we had lots of animals. We had kangaroo, a spider monkey, and sloths, and
So was it like a petting zoo that came to your
Yes.
birthday? Really?
yes,
That sounds like the coolest birthday ever.
it was a lot.
Were there
of fun.
big animals there?
The kangaroo was probably the biggest animal.
Did you get to like be close to the kangaroo?
Yes, it was in just a cage, and we got to go pet it
How
because
big
they
was
were
it?
all trained. It was probably to my chest. It wasn't very big.
Did you know you knew Leah was in Australia, right?
Yes, I've heard.
How many kangaroos have
stories.
you seen? A bunch? Did you ever touch a kangaroo?
Yeah.
Okay.
In a controlled environment.
Because they're kind of aggressive, aren't they?
Yes, a lot of them.
Okay. Was your kangaroo that was at your party? Was it aggressive?
No, it was probably one of the nicest animals.
Oh. Well, I wish I had a nice kangaroo because I think they're really cool animals. Was there any other cool animals there? Did you get to ride anything?
No,
Oh. Well, that's not fun.
I wanted to, but
You got to hold a monkey?
yes.
Like a big monkey?
It was very skinny and long.
Oh,
That's how I would describe it.
that's cool. Was there a sloth or anything like that?
A sloth, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Those are so cool.
Yes.
That's fun. I want that birthday party. I'm going to have to get your mom to send me the information so I can have my own
Yes.
birthday party with a petting zoo. We'll do it inside of Dead Cat Studios. Leah's down. Okay. Birthday party. Okay, I want to jump back to middle school. Like, so Liam's described it a little bit to me, but I want to hear your perspective. Like, explain to me kind of like a virtual tour of like what middle school looked like going into it.
It's very big. Hopefully they'll change some things up, and fix some things.
Because we got that,
Yes.
we got that grant, and they're working on that. Yeah.
So it's very big and nice. I really liked watching our band play. That was fun.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool. Okay, so you get to pick an elective. Oops. What elective did you pick?
Drama.
Drama. Okay, so Liam was on the fence between drama and choir.
That's what I was.
Well, okay, so the hard part is you only get to do drama for half a semester, or
Yes.
like half the year, right?
I'm
and then
pretty
you have to do art for the other half of the year. Which I'm not against art. I love
Yeah.
art, but he really wants to do drama.
Yes.
And he only kind of wanted to do
Yeah,
art.
I kind of want to do art, but I want to do drama.
So he chose choir because when he gets in high school, they do musicals.
Yes.
So he wanted to start learning early how to do music, like the singing part of stuff, so that the next year, I think if you pick drama, you can be in for a full year. Am I right?
I think so.
That's interesting. It's also cool that y'all both have the same interest. Do you want to be on Broadway?
Maybe.
Maybe. Do you want to act in like movies and TV shows?
Some I do, yes.
A lot of people want to do that. We should find a way to do like a short film and have you act in it.
That would be fun.
And then when you make it big time, you can say, the first time I ever was on film was with Dead Cat in Paris, Texas.
Yes.
And you'll help make us famous. I like this plan. We'll have Zach, one of our guys that works here, we'll have him write it. He's in, I can tell.
Yes.
Okay, so middle school, you want to be an actor when you grow up? Is there any, or a veterinarian?
Yes.
Or a
dentist.
Or a dentist. You could always be an actress who acts like a veterinarian.
Yeah.
Then you got to be two of them. That's so cool. Okay, tell me a little bit about your parents.
My mom, she's very nice, except when we get in trouble. She has a whole different side of her.
Ooh.
And then my dad, he's just crazy.
So tell me a little bit about your mom and like what kind of stuff have you learned from your mom?
I've learned to always just be yourself. If there's kids who don't have a friend, make sure you go and help them and be a friend.
That's awesome. So your mom owns her own business?
Yes.
And do you get to go up and see her kind of in her element at work?
Yes.
Do you like it up there?
I like it.
Have you learned anything from that kind of side of like work mom?
Yeah, she's a boss and it's an office full of girls, so it's crazy.
But she's really good at it.
Yes.
Yeah. I think she's really in her, because I know her from mostly from her work side,
yes.
And she's like, she just runs a really good business, and she's got a really good heart with her
yes.
employees, and she's got a really great staff. Do you feel like it's cool seeing your mom kind of in that element?
Yes, I love seeing her doing that. That's
awesome. Okay, tell us a little bit about your dad.
My dad, he works for Paris Pump.
Okay.
He usually, when they're not busy, he'll come and help my mom do stuff. He works at Paris Pump, and then when they're not busy, he'll go and help my mom out.
Okay. What does he do? Do you know what he does at Paris Pump?
They will dig tanks up and help fix like card readers on gas tanks.
Okay, that's cool. Tell me, what has your dad taught you?
Many things.
Many things?
He's just taught me to stay out all the girl drama and get away from that. Don't talk to any boys.
Except for Liam. Liam's okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So if you had to pick a favorite between mom and dad, which one would you pick? I won't tell him, I promise.
I can't choose. I don't know. There's different ways.
Okay, let's go this route. If you had to pick mad mom or mad dad, which one would you pick?
Mad mom.
Mad mom.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to pick fun mom or fun dad, which one would you pick?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I like both of them when they're fun.
Okay, who's more of a fun sponge, mom or dad?
Dad.
Dad.
Yeah.
You were just telling me a story about how you wanted to buy a sword and mom said no.
Yeah.
That sounds like mom's a fun sponge. I would want to buy a sword. Maybe that's a guy thing. Okay, tell me the funniest thing that your dad's ever done.
He always says I can't, and I love when he's like lying to Sam, and it's like, Sam, I can't do that and stuff, and Sam will just roast him, and it's so funny because he has nothing to say. And then I love like when Mom said no about the sword, Dad's like, yeah, that dude was trying to scam me. That's why we couldn't get it, and it was so funny.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about the funniest thing your mom's ever done.
Oh, I do not know. There's several things. I love it when she gets nervous. She was so nervous for her podcast. And I'm like, Mom, you're fine. You're fine. She
did
just
great.
gets nervous about everything.
I get that though. I think I'm really bad about overthinking things. Like I'll get in my head about something that should probably be nothing.
I get my overthinking from my mother,
Ooh.
for sure.
Okay, what do you get from your dad then?
My looks, for sure. I look just like my dad. Everyone tells me that.
I always tell, so I have a funny story. So everybody, not everybody, but when people say, oh, your boys are so cute, I always say they get it all from their mom. That's like my go-to saying for that. Okay, so we've learned about your mom and dad. We've learned about your brothers. You guys live in the country, don't you?
Yes.
Do you like living in the country?
Yes.
Would you ever live in the city?
Maybe, but I just like having all the free space and getting to do what you want.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Is that your favorite thing about living in the country?
Yes.
Do you think you would, when you grow up, do you think you would live in the country?
Yes.
So when you grow up, do you want to live in Paris?
Yes.
Why?
Because I've always lived here and I want to build out on our land.
Oh, you want to live
Yes.
close to mom and dad?
Yes.
That's cool. Do you think you would travel any before you lived in Paris?
I would have fun traveling with my friends after we graduate and go travel with some of my friends.
Do you think you'll go to college in PJC, or would you go off to college and then come back?
I'd probably go off to college.
Okay. Where do you know of any colleges you would like?
don't.
You're not quite there yet.
I'm not quite there yet. I like TCU because my cousin goes there and she gets to come back every weekend.
Did she tell you good stories about
Yes.
being there? It sounds like a cool place.
Yes.
That's awesome. Do you have any... So you're about to go into middle school. Do you have any thoughts about going into high school?
I don't want to go.
Why?
I just don't want to do... Well, for my brother, he's always doing work, homework and stuff, which I'm fine with homework. I like having to go home and work on stuff like that, but my brother hates it.
Mm-hmm. You think that's just going to be a lot more
Yes.
tedious going into high school?
Yes.
But I think there's also a lot more opportunities to do more activities and
Yes.
sports and other things that you can kind of have interest in. There's a whole drama department.
Yes.
The director there, Mr. Cody Head,
Yes.
you know him?
Yeah, he's my cousin's stepdad.
Oh, he's family.
Yes.
Well, he's a good friend of ours. We've done several things at Dead Cat with him. He's a great voiceover guy. We
Yes.
get him to do voiceovers for us. And he's just generally a good person. But he sometimes lets Liam be in shows when they have a good position for him. And
Yes.
it's pretty cool. Maybe you'll get the opportunity to do that sometime.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Okay, so I think we've covered most everything. Is there anything else you want to tell us?
No, I don't have anything.
Was this podcast scary?
At first it was, but then...
What did I tell you was going to happen?
At first it would be scary, but then it would be fine.
And is that how it worked out?
Yes.
Exactly. Well, you are not the youngest I've ever had, because I did Liam several years ago on the podcast, but you're the youngest I've done in a really long time. It was a pretty good podcast, though.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Me too.
Did you learn anything?
I learned to think back in my memory, for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to remember all those things,
Yes.
isn't it? That's kind of a good thing about doing a podcast, is now 5 years from now you can listen to your podcast and then remember what happened.
Yes.
It's like a time vault.
Yes.
Would you ever do your own podcast?
Yes, that would be fun. I would like to do that.
What would you do it about?
I would like to do like a personal one, tell about myself, and then have some of my friends interview my friends. That would be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a school project.
Yes.
Give us a call. We'll help you out. We got all the stuff.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Well, Addi, thank you for being on my podcast.
Thank you for letting me come.
You did a really good job.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.